Hello, David Brand. You're the
Sorry?
head forester in Israel.
Yes,
In
I'm the
Israel.
chief forester of JNF in Israel.
And you've been around. Your organisation has been around for 110 years.
110 years, we were established in 1901, and since then we planted more than 240 million trees all over Israel. And actually today we are among the fewest countries in the world that the forest area in Israel is bigger than it was 100 years ago.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So what actually motivated people in the very beginning to plant the forests?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
What motivated people in the very beginning to plant those forests? Back in 1901, why were people planting trees?
Well, they knew that since it was an arid land in those days, and we have aerial photos from 1945, for example, that you can hardly see a single tree on all the mountains in Israel. And since they know that they want to come and settle in Israel, and they knew that if you want to settle down, you need forests. This is the basic things in order to settle in Israel. And this is what motivation for this cause.
So part of it comes from your faith, from the Jewish faith, in terms of the resettlement and creating that home area.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, and so has the rate of reforestation increased recently, or?
It's been increased since, yes, in the last, let's say, 50 years, we plant more and more forests all over Israel. But I can tell you that today we are focusing on the arid zone in Israel. Let's say that there are two climate zones in Israel, Mediterranean zone and arid zones. And I can say that in the Mediterranean zone, we plant any free land that we can allow to plant trees over there, we planted the trees. Now we are focusing on the arid and semi-arid zone that it is in the southern part of Israel. We have a national master plan for forestry and forest in Israel, and we are acting according to this plan.
Okay, and so where is the plan going to take you?
Sorry?
What's the ultimate objective of the plan?
The ultimate objective is that according to this plan, that we will reach between I will translate to hectares, between 150 to 200 and the goal is that we will have areas of 150 till 200,000 hectares in Israel.
Do you not this doesn't affect Israel's productivity?
No, because we are planting those trees on marginal land. It's not a land that we can cultivate or produce agricultural crop. It's land that only tree forest can grow on it.
Or you could build factories and,
Yes, but luckily, again, 15 years ago, we had declared for what we call National Master Plan for Forest and Forestry, and we hope that this national plan can hold against the pressure from a private sector to build more and more buildings.
Is there any room for influencing other countries? Is there any room to influence other countries to follow a similar plan?
Yes, actually, what we are trying to do is to share our know-how, experience in afforestation in arid land, and to transfer this knowledge to other countries. And we are doing it each year. For example, in the last month, we conducted an international course in the Negev. Negev is our desert area. In this course participated more than 90 participants from all over the world, and we showed them how, with our knowledge, advanced technique, you can plant trees and afforestation in arid zones.
And is anybody following through on that? Have there been any outcomes of this training?
Yes, they started to do that, and in some countries like China and Africa, they already learn from our experience and start to do so. In terms of afforestation, we have a booth here, and many participants from many delegations came to our booth and asked us that we will try to see how we can help them, again, with afforestation in semi-arid and arid zones. And part of that is that we learned from, let's say that in Israel, we learned from ancient time how to collect runoff water, how to harvest the runoff water in the desert, and how to redistribute these water resources in order that we will be able to plant trees in those arid zones.
It's really quite impressive because you're not here to influence the negotiations, you're just here to help people out.
Yes, there are another part of the Israeli delegation that deals with other issues. I'm from JNF. We are focusing on afforestation and reforestation in arid zones.
And your only agenda is to give this knowledge to other people?
To give this knowledge, give this experience to other countries. And more than that, we are not dealing only with afforestation. We are actually in Israel acting as a land development authority. And we are dealing also with river rehabilitation, building reservoirs all over Israel, how to use effluent water, soil conservation, etc. So we are really can help other countries when we are talking about managing watershed, when we are talking about watershed management. And in this area, we are ready, we'll be more than happy to share our experience. Can give you another example, a wonderful example. 7 years ago, pests invaded from Australia to Asia, Thailand, and Africa. Those pests attack commercial forests of eucalyptus. We, in JNF, started an international project to find natural enemies to those pests. And after 7-year projects, we found those natural enemies in Australia. We imported them to Israel, examined them that they are really natural enemies only to those pests that attack the eucalyptus trees. And today, actually, we are the only country in the world that has in our hand those natural enemies. And we already exported those natural enemies to China, to Thailand, and to South Africa. Naturally, free of charge.
And what about your neighboring countries?
Well, part of them are, let's say, the countries that has a formal relationship with Israel benefit from our knowledge. Jordan, Egypt. The other countries, they don't have an official relationship with us, so unfortunately, they are not benefit from our experience. But again, we are ready. Although they are not in formal relationship with us, we are ready to give any kind of assistance to those countries.
So in terms of neighbouring countries, what I know it's politically insensitive, but given where you are, what help are you giving there?
Well, we are having a good relationship with the Palestinian Authority, and for example, last month we conducted a course in Haifa to foresters from the Palestinian Authority, and actually we teach them and share them with our knowledge how to establish forest. And this is only step number 1, because we intend to do another 3 courses in January, February, and March. And in those courses, again, we are going to share them with our knowledge with how to manage a forest, how to manage or how to establish a community forest, and how to manage fires in the forests.
So even though you don't necessarily have a formal relationship, this is still something you can offer?
No doubt about it.
And you also have agreements with Egypt and Jordan?
With Egypt and Jordan, and if you will look on the border between Israel and Jordan, you will see all the greenhouses on the Israeli side, advanced technique in those desert areas, and you can see that on the other border from the Jordanian side, you can see the same greenhouse, the same techniques that we happily shared with them.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.